D, wait for it, Lightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma. What's up, nerds? So I literally just finished the second episode of The Rings of Power, and oof, I'll tell you what, guys, this show, I feel like it's gonna be pretty much a slog to get through. I don't know what's going on here. Like, there's nothing in here that makes me go Lord of the Rings, okay? Except for the fact that they tell me that these characters' names are what they are. And I'm just like, I don't know what's going on with this show. It's boring. It's not fun. It's a slog to get through. I'm just like, so who is this for? It's not for like, a Lord of the Rings fan. And it's just boring. And like the thing is, they spent so much money on this and it looks cheap in some places. Like it's so ridiculous. Like when they're going through Khazad-dûm, that part was actually that looked expansive. But then like there's other times I'm just like, what? Like what's going on here? So I'm gonna break this episode down. I'm gonna be quick about it because I mean, in all honesty, I'm just like whatever. And then they've got this homeless, dirty man that's supposed to be, I think, Gandalf. I have no idea. I don't care. I'm like, I can't deal with you people with this. Like, you guys did not make Lord of the Rings show. You made a fantasy show, which is fine. They should have just went with that. They just wanted the IP. They wanted to be able to call it Lord of the Rings. Yeah, and I'll give you my thoughts and stuff like that. But before I get started on everything, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we just get shoved to the back of the line. So please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. Now, it starts off water because remember Galadriel in the last episode, she jumped in the water because she didn't want to go to Valinor. And so she's swimming like, a smart person. I've read the books, by the way. I don't want to shove that in your face because, I was talking to a friend that didn't read the Game of Thrones books. And every time I brought it up, she's like, ugh, I hate talking to you about it because you're always like, well, in the books. And I'm like, well, read the books because they're really freaking good and you're missing out. Although the first 4 seasons of that was really good. Anyways, so then we go over to Nori where the wizard landed in his, comet. And she's all like, he might need some help. And she's like, no, leave him alone. He's a homeless man and everything. And she's like, she turns around and he grabs her by the hand. And then he's like, oh, and everything. And she's like, oh God, and everything. And then he sucks out all the light. And he does it later on too. And I think this is Gandalf. I'm pretty sure you think this is Gandalf because you remember in Lord of the Rings when he's like, Bilbo Baggins, and all that it gets dark. He's like, I'm not trying to rob you. And then it gets back light. He's like, I'm trying to help you. Do you remember that scene? That's what this was like. Just, with, a hobo and and a little hobo girl. So then she's all like, we have to help him out. How are we gonna do it and everything? So then these guys are all like, when I first watched this, I was like, oh yeah, you're gonna burn your hand, but they use fireflies. We find that out later. So then they're all like, what was that? And he's like, oh, go on, woman, and everything. And then they come and they steal this cart and then these lamps. And I don't remember what they say here, and it really doesn't matter. But they stick him in this old carriage or something like that, and they're all like, we'll deal with him tomorrow. And I can't remember what she says, but something about the stars. And she's got like nuts in her hair, like a big weirdo. The Harfoots are weird. I don't like them. So then we go back to Andriel, whatever his name is, the black elf, and the single mom. I don't remember her name either. All these new characters, I just don't care. But anyways, okay, so then they remember they went to that little town, right? And it's all messed up. And they go into this house and they find a hole. And he's like, I'm gonna go into it. And she's like, you don't know what's down there. And he's like, that's why I need to go. And I'm like, really? Is that why you need to go? Maybe you don't need to go. And he's like, you go warn the town and everything. So then he drops in there and he's going through it. Then we hop over to Aragon. I don't know how to pronounce all this stuff. I'm not good with pronunciation with anything. And this is the realm of the Elven Smiths, which will pop up later which not from what I understand, not this season. We're not going to see any of the Rings of Power, which is, like, okay, whatever, I guess. I don't know. But then we see this hammer, and he's like, oh, this is the hammer of da 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 da. I don't remember what it's called. It's really late right now, and I don't care. But he's like, it's got oh, what are they called? The Mary or whatever. I can't remember. Anyways, so he's basically like, you built so much. He's like, I want to build something beautiful and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, I know who could help with this. And they go to Khazad-dûm. He's like, I've always wanted to work with the elves. They work with the mountain and everything. And I'm like, what's going on here? And then he's like, you improve on what's already there. And he's like, I would like to, and he's like, good, he will bring us in and lavish us with salted pork. And I'm like, I thought you guys were vegetarians, but whatever. And then he's all like, I would like to see Prince Durin. And they're like, no. And he's like, I challenge him to the rock breaking contest. And they're like, oh, you did. He's like, I'll be come back in a couple of days. And I'm like, where's Celebrimbor gonna go? Where's he gonna go? Just walk him back and then come back when you're done? What's going on here? So he goes in, and now this I liked. This was very beautiful right here. What they did here, I liked all of this. They showed the mirrors thing was very good. It's a little too green for my taste, but I'll let it go. It's fine because they right over here. They're farming. Oh no, I didn't get it. Right here, they're farming, but I didn't get the fields and stuff. So they're farming the food, and this is all of their stuff. And it's this was very good right here. This Khazad-dûm. And they get in here. Oh, look, there's a dwarf woman. We didn't see Princess what's her face, but I thought she was the first female dwarf on screen. Not these ladies are. Anyway, so he's challenged me. If I win, he gets banished forever, and if he wins, I don't remember what he gets. Anyways, so they start there. Some more dwarf women. They don't have beards. They should have beards, but they don't. It's like whatever. Anyways, so they start and everything. Then Nori comes back to the wizard, Gandalf. I'm just going to call him Gandalf, the hobo. And he's like drawing and stuff. And he's like, and then she's like, hey, it's me. And he's like, har, 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 har. And he does this thing where he pulls away the light. And she's like, it's me. And he looks into her eyes, and they're friends. And then she feeds him these slugs, not slugs, snails. Sorry, escargot. And he eats the whole shell. And I'm like, great. You know who he kind of reminds me of? Oh, what is his name? He was on District 9 and some other stuff. I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyways, so then back here, her dad he's working on his thing, and they're like, help and everything. And she's supposed to be there to help. And he's drawing to say where he's from or what he's trying to find or whatever. I'm clueless on this part of the program because I'm all like, I don't even remember any of this crap from the book. The Harfoots, they mention them, and I was like, I thought I remember there's 3 different type of hobbits, and I guess the Harfoots are one of them, but I was like, I don't remember. And I started reading the Silmarillion again, but then somebody told me that this isn't even based off the Silmarillion; it's based off the appendices, and I was like, shit, I don't have time for all this. Anyways, he ends up hurting his ankle. And then she's like, your dad. And she goes, and he's all like, it's going to be okay. And they're like, is he able to travel? Because they migrate. And so then Galadriel's, she's just swimming, just keep swimming. And she comes across a raft. And I'm all like, ooh, lucky you, because the script needed you to find a hunk of wood to be on. And there's these people, and they let her on. Oh, and that's Celeborn. Very attractive. Rumor has it that this is Sauron, so get ready, everybody. So they get on. She hides her ears. And this guy, he's detecting something. So he moves her hair, and she's like, "Let go of me." And then this crazy later, she's like, "Oh, look, a ship," and it's actually the worm, and it swims under, and then and she pushes Galadriel off the raft. She's like, get off the ship. You brought the worm to us, elven witch. And she gets her up, but she's smart. She's like, I'm going to stay in the water because he's coming for you. And then this guy, Celeborn, I don't remember what his name is. It doesn't even matter. sexy Sauron, he starts untying this piece of the raft that he's on, and she swims away, and the worm comes up and he knocks everybody off, and he's just chowing down on these people. And he's like, hey, come up on my ship. And then so we go back to the rock breaking contest, and Elrond, he gives up, and he's like, well, can I ask the Lord to escort me out? And they take the lift up, and he's all like, tell me what I did wrong. And he's like, the lift's not long enough. And he's all like, you didn't come to my wedding, and you didn't see the birth of my 2 children. And I'm like, oh, fuck him. He had to come to your wedding, your dwarf wedding. And he's like, can I at least apologize to your wife? And so he takes him to his house. And his wife, who is, I don't remember this actress's name, but she was all up on the thing talking about inclusion and all this nonsense. And you're like, okay, great. She doesn't have a beard, which I still have a problem with, and she's wearing golden Doritos. I hate these little chain things right here. They're golden Doritos. It's ridiculous, but she actually wasn't that bad. She's actually a pretty good actress. And the character, I thought she was charming, so yeah, there's that. And so their kids come down, which that was cute and everything, seeing that whole thing, and they're home. And she talks about how they sing to the mountain, and the mountain will sing back to you, or where you're in, and tell you where to dig and what parts to leave alone, all that stuff. And then he talks about the tree, and he's like, I gave it to you as a sapling. And she's like, oh yeah, everybody thought he was dumb for trying to grow that tree. And he's like, you grow it with love, and wherever there's love is, it'll grow. Because she was like, growing in such darkness. And he's all like, and with a house like yours, it should grow huge and everything. It was very nice. And he's like, stay and everything. So then back on here, I didn't get anything of it, but he literally, okay, so he does this like Abercrombie. I'll get a clip of it and put it on as like a short, but he dips his hand in the water, and then he pushes back his hair like a freaking Abercrombie and Fitch ad, or like a Calvin Klein ad. I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here. But he's got this little thing right here, and she sees it, and she's all like, what is that? And or what symbol is that? And he's like, orcs attacked my town. And she's all like, where? He's like, what do you care? And she's like, just tell me, hooker. And he's all like, the Southlands. And then there's a storm coming. She's like, you better get ready for the storm. And so then single mom runs into the town, and she's like, we need to get the hell out of here. And she's like, orcs are coming. They're coming to get us and everything. And they're all like, I don't believe you, and I'm not going to call back the elves. We're better off with the elves, unlike some whore. And she's all like, what? And everything. And they all give her the look. Meanwhile, her son, who is a total asshole, I hate this kid so much, was his name Theo? He hears scratching underneath the floorboards. So he takes his hot poker thing, the fire poker. He starts hitting the ground with it. And he's like, stupid rats, and everything. And I'm like, you have anger issues. You need to calm down. You need a man in that home, because you get one of these and everything. I'm just joking, but he puts a hole in the floor. My dad would have beat my ass if I put a hole in the floor. And then an eye pops up, and he's like, huh. So he runs and hides. Pussy. So then Black Elf guy, I don't remember, Eleanor. I'm just gonna call him Eleanor because I don't remember his name. He's going through the tunnels, and something starts chasing him, and he gets in this water, and then these hands come out and grab him. And I thought when I saw this in the trailer, it was the Entwives, but I don't think it's the Entwives. It's just the orcs. So she runs back home, and she's like, Theo, and she's yelling in the hole, and I'm all like, lady, your son's coming off. He comes off like a very big pussy. I don't think he jumped in the hole, okay? But then he's in this little door right here. I don't think I got a picture of it. Anyways, but he's like, Mom, get out of here. Go get help. And I'm like, why don't you get out and go get help? And so she, instead of going to get help, she hides in the cupboard. I'm like, oh, all right, whatever. There's the orc's ears and stuff. And he ends up coming out. He ends up fighting them. And she chops his head off because she's a strong woman. And she shows everybody, and she's like, tell everybody, let's get the hell out of here. So they're facing the storm. She ties herself to the boat, but then it ends up breaking off, and she's sinking, and he saves her. And I'm all like, oh, great, they're in love now, or whatever. Oh. Sauron, not Sauron. Sauron. He's Sauron. He's sexy Sauron. So then the wizard is doing something weird with the sky, and she's all like, "What are you looking for?" And they use he uses the fireflies because they're like, the stars are different. And he creates this like thing, and she's like, "Oh, I've never seen those stars, but I know somebody who might." And it's the Black Hobbit with the book. Duh. I mean, come on. Like, anyways. And then he like disappears. Then back here, the king, because the prince heard what he had to say. And he's all like, we're holding the hammer here. He's like, for now and everything. How can we trust these elves? And basically what they're doing. And then he's like, and then he shows them this mystery box. And it reminded me of Pulp Fiction when they open up the suitcase and it's just a bright light and everything. I'm pretty sure it's Mithril. But this is just the beginning of forging the rings of power. You know, what was 3 for elves, 7 for dwarves, 9 for men, and then the one ring to rule them all. So then Theo pulls out that blade that he found from last episode, and he got because he got hurt here, but it starts pulling the blood, and then it creates this blade. And I don't know if it creates the whole thing or what, but I'm gonna say no, because like then in this one he's not carrying it, but he could be. Who knows? And then they're leaving, and then we come over to Galadriel and Sexy Sauron. I'm going to call him Sexy Sauron, but I don't know if he's Sauron or not, but I'm just going to assume that he is. Because everybody's like, they think it's going to be the one guy, the Eminem looking chick. And then this is the queen of Numenor, I bet. And she finds him, and then yeah. And then she passes out again. That's the end of the episode. So this episode was, again, also very boring. I don't think that this show is going to be very good for the next, what is this, 2 episodes? We have 8 episodes left, I think. I just don't think it's going to be very good. And I wish that they would have put a little bit more thought into this show. Because it just, to me, it just seems like it was like they were those people that like woke up the day before a project was due and just like sloshed something together. Like they didn't even think about it. And it's just so like typical, you know, but hey, it doesn't, it doesn't even matter. I'll be back next week. I'll put some more into it this week. I was trying to get this out because, everybody's got their review out and I wanted to do this. So, all right, tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Or are you going to go back for more? I don't know. But anyways, tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you guys on my next Rings of Power breakdown and review. You guys have a good day. Bye.